I'm rather hoping that my side camera doesn't fall off its tripod. Actually, it's a monopod, but anyway. Because yesterday I did a workshop. The two little mittens are just above my head there. We did a workshop. It was lovely. Didn't quite finish the robin, but never mind. And as I switched on, well, as I wanted to move the side camera, it literally fell off its perch, and everybody in the group, in the decorations group, landed on Millie's duvet. So I had to. Oh bless! Look at that. Catherine says she wants to make one anyway. Oh, she's very good to me. Yes. So I had to quickly switch cameras and call John. Help! But that was really funny. So anyway, he's screwed it really well, and at the moment it's standing fast, so we shall see. I'm sure it's going to be fine. Oh dear. Nicholas says still a great pattern. I only got it a few weeks ago and really enjoyed making it. That's Duncan. Yeah, I mean, it actually is very useful. I don't have the original. I think I must have made two because I did a video for it. And I don't have either, so I must have either given it away or sold it in one of my sample sales or whatever. So let's make another one. I'm making a Christmassy one, and I've had some fabrics for ages. Let me just see if I can get you overhead. I've had some... Oh, I'm going to move you. Sorry about that. I did this yesterday for my workshop, so I'll just move you so you're out the way. There we go. Yes, so yes, I've had this fabric for ages, and I wanted to use. I used some yesterday on the mittens, but I thought I'd use some tonight to make Duncan, because it's really pretty. It's really pretty, and I don't know if you can. Oh yes, you can. Look at that. Can you see the sparkle? So we've got the light blue and the dark blue. You can see the sparkle more on the dark blue. Isn't it glorious? Duncan predates videos. You made it on a live. Is it in the Facebook lives, Jackie? In the file Facebook lives? Yeah, the snowflake cushion. I know, that's what Kath said yesterday, that this fabric should be I should make it some more snowflake cushions, because this is perfect for it. So in the pattern of Duncan, you get two pattern pieces. Okay, you get one, and both have got Lizzy on. You get one to cut on the fold, and you get one where you're cutting two, and you're cutting two of the lining, two of the outer, and you're doing two well, sorry, on the fold for the outer and the lining, both well, no, that's, I'm going to retract all of that. The lining is cut differently. The lining is cut in one whole piece, I beg your pardon. But the outer is, you cut two from that and you cut one from that on the fold. So I do beg your pardon, I've gone wrong already. I've only just started. What's the matter with me? So I'm just going to flip my pattern pieces over. Yes, the lining is cut as one piece, which is great. Okay. And in the pattern, you can see it. Even if you don't buy the pattern, you can see it in the little snapshot. It has pom-pom trim. So we're going to do that. You're going to do that because that's really nice. But yeah, oh, Jackie says she loves the blue. Well, the light blue is a sparkly, Jackie, but you can't quite see it. Oh, I think you can just about see it. I'm peering at the camera. Oh, it's in the files, is it? Oh, smashing. Yeah, I thought it might probably be ancient. Probably I'm still shouting as much as I ever did. Right, so this, where we've cut it on the fold here, that's the bottom of the bag. So let me just move my mouse, that's it. And so this is the centre section. If I show you the picture, which as I say is really ancient, can you see we've got the pom-pom trim? Oh, actually it is dark and light on here. And so we're going to put that in. I've got, I'm not using the multicolour, I'm just using cream. But the installation of the pom-pom trim is just the same regardless. And I've got this great heap, which it's got itself in a muddle. So anyway, that is the centre and that is the base of the bottom. Okay, so we've got two raw edges here. So I'm just going to cut a piece that goes all the way across. I'm not going to bother measuring. Sometimes life is too short. It's got a little funny bit there, look, can you see? Well, let's just cut it and see. We'll see what happens. And both of these can get stitched on. And what you could do, and it's not a bad idea, is to put some quilter's tape to hold that in place, okay? Because pom-pom trim has a habit of stretching and moving. So let's do that. Let me see if I can find my pom-pom trim. Just, my double-sided tape. I may not have it here. It might be, oh, there it is. I keep it in a plastic bag. Our Jackie Thomas told me to do that years ago, and I still do. There we go, let's get this one out. One of them is, they're both a bit dodgy now. They're quite old, I must admit. Oof. Hold on, we're having a moment. That's it. Right, that's it. Get a nice neat end. Start as we mean to go on. So what have you been doing today? Has anybody been doing anything really exciting? Hopefully it doesn't involve water. Hope you're all staying safe. I mean, this is just awful at the moment, isn't it? Oh, there was on the news just before when I came up here, Billing Aquadrome in Northampton is totally flooded again. And I used to take the kids there when they were kids. And I used to have a really, really old caravan. It was called a Van Master, and it was owned by a vicar. And when you bought a Van Master caravan, you had a shell basically, and you had to equip it out yourself. And so I bought this from him. I can't remember how much or anything like that. And it still had gas lamps, and I'm not even joking. It had gas lamps in it, and it was built like the cabin of a boat. It was all wood, because I think he had a boat as well, and he was a bit of a carpenter. So it was quite a heavy beast. But I had a big old Saab in those days, so the Saab used to pull it beautifully. I used to take the kids to Billing Aquadrome. Well, probably only took them a couple of times maybe. Yeah, and it was just a super van, and the sink, you had the sink and you had the water, but you had to pump the little pump on the floor, a little pedal on the floor, to get the water to come through. It's really archaic. It was smashing. Oh dear, right. Oh, I tell you what, yes, thank you, Jackie. So I put my quilter's tape on, so I'm just going to stick my pom-pom trim down. Do you know what? You can't beat a pom-pom. And I'm just going to try and not stretch it. You can see I did. It's so easy to stretch this, and it's not good. And I also use your zipper foot to attach this, yeah? Because then you can get fairly close to your bubbles. So let's snip that off there. Turn it around. And I'll start at the end that's half decent. Do you know, the invention at some point of quilter's tape was just the best thing ever. It really is. And if anybody has not tried it, please try it. Oh, which reminds me, Amazon have got a deal on Reynolds freezer paper, you know, that you would use for applique and stuff like that. And it's got a fantastic offer on at the moment. It's a Black Friday offer. It's still on. There's a link on my Creative Friends group, and I think I've put it in my... Have I put it in my shop? I might not have put it in my shop. But if you search Reynolds freezer paper, there's a fantastic deal on 3 boxes for, I think, 10 or 12, no, 10 or 11 pounds, something like that. And that's an absolute bargain, it really is. Oh, Julie said her first caravan had gas lights. Oh, what's that? Oh, Christmas market. Oh, Yvonne says, had to buy a roof box for the car. We're going to Maastricht, is that right, on Thursday? I'm planning doing lots of shopping at the market. So it's also a massive Christmas store, and hubby has his eye on making a Christmas scene for Poppy. Oh, how lovely. Now, I lived in Germany for... I'm assuming that you're talking about Germany. I lived in Germany for 4 or 5 years, and their Christmas markets are second to none. I'd recommend them to anybody. They really are super duper. I used to love it. Right, I'm going on the side camera. I hope I don't have to move it. leave it like that. I'm sure you can see. Yes, Christine, great thumbs up to Christine when she told us about it. Really, really excellent. Because we was talking about it yesterday, because I transferred all my applique designs onto freezer paper, and then I just ironed the freezer paper onto my fabric, and you know, it was a doddle then to cut out, and I leave it so there's a bit of let's say 1/4 inch around each shape. But it just makes it so much easier. Right, so I'm just going to stitch this down, and let me just make sure I've got it on the right setting. It doesn't bash my needle. There we go. And because I'm using a zipper foot, I can get right up, well, fairly close. And I'll do the same when I stitch the seam. But I'm just going to literally stitch this down just to secure it. Even though we've got the glue, I just like to stitch it as well. And then when I put the other piece on top, it might not cover all of the tape, but I'm not really bothered, as long as it looks pretty. And honestly, the tape can look quite lacy, can't it? And the fabric over the top will hold it down. Oh, that sounds like a lovely visit, Yvonne. So look, that's just stitched down, just to make sure everything is in the right place. And see these bobbles? If you have difficulty with the bobbles getting in the way, let me just turn my machine round, make sure I don't lose anything off it. If you have, what's that? That's the mouse. Bear with, because I'll have to pick that up. Just a sec. It's very dangerous in this room. All sorts going on. There's needles there. Yeah, so if your bobbles get in the way, you know, or you think they're going to get in the way, use your stiletto to push them out of the way. Tell them who's boss. Look, get out the way, bobble, and just keep them there while you're stitching past, okay? You could use your seam ripper, but one of these is perfect for the job. So I shall just keep them in check, which doesn't mean to say that we'll all go to plan, but you know, we give ourselves a fighting chance. You could also move the needle over a bit more as well, which means, let me just show you again. Just move some of these bits and pieces out the way. I don't know if you can see, but you could move this needle further over to the left. So, because on these type of zipper foots, they're quite wide here. Look, it's probably more than 1/2 inch across there, and it knocks into your bobbles. So you could bring your needle further across to the left, and it just means that this part of your zipper foot doesn't crash into the bobbles. It'll make sense if you do it. Just about, oh, I've got zigzag now. How did that happen? I pressed something. God, it's a good job I didn't break my needle there. I think I pressed a button, I ended up with a zigzag. That's not what you want with a zipper foot on. Oh my goodness. Can't make it up. Right. Oh, Lynn says, I went to a sewing group on Saturday and made a boiled wool coat for my daughter. Oh, actually a boiled wool coat is quite a nice make because there's no fraying or anything like that, and you don't have to line it. Of course you perhaps should, but you don't have to line it, and then the seams stay neat. You don't have to necessarily overlock them or you know, it's just a lovely fabric to use. It really is. If you wanted to make yourself a gilet or something like that, boiled wool is a great one to learn with because it's so easy. Right, so both sides are now stitched. So what we'll do is we'll pop our let's just get onto the overhead. So we'll pop our upper fabric on. So if you remember, we had to cut 2. So 2 I have. So just line them up. Now, I think we should use clips because of the pom-poms. I don't know if it will make any difference. You could put another layer of quilter's tape down if you want to, but I suggest we just clip. Really, we should have the flat edge goes to the bottom. Supposedly you can flick them off easier if the flat edge is on the bottom to your machine, but you know what, I don't have the strength to do that and push them away. You might have. Give it a go. Give it a go. Has anybody else been to a Christmas market? Oh, Caroline said, due to the bad weather I didn't go to the Christmas market on Saturday. We're going to go in a couple of weeks instead. Oh yes, Christmas market in Cambridge. Wonderful. So let's have a look. See what that looks like. It's going to look gorgeous, isn't it? A simple bag really, but choose the right fabrics and the right trim. I tell you what would be lovely, rickrack. You know, the really big rickrack. I do love a bit of rickrack. When was the last time you used rickrack? Goodness. It's quite a 60s thing, isn't it, rickrack? But now you can get sort of giant rickrack. Oh, I think I should get some. I really do. I'm in the mood for a bit of rickrack. Oh, now your Christmas market is lovely as well. Zoe, I don't know if you've ever been. Have you been before? That's really lovely. Possibly avoid the shambles. No, is it the shambles? I saw a picture of that the other day on the news. It was absolutely chock-a-block with people. Is it the shambles? I think it is, isn't it? Anyway, let's go on the side camera again. Let's move everything out of the way. So now what we're going to do is just stitch these two seams together. So if you have a look here, it's just a case of stitching them together. Nice, easy pattern. Nice one to follow. Nice one just to sit and do on a Sunday afternoon. Now I'm not going to worry too much about whether I'm covering all of my tape. I could lose... Oh, what's rickrack? Marissa! Where have you been? I don't have any with me. Rickrack. Now, this is the challenge to anybody watching. Explain to Marissa what rickrack is. It's great. Oh, especially the giant sort. Oh, yes. Rickrack. It's funny how you cotton onto something, isn't it, when you're least expecting it. Yeah, I think I'll have to do a pattern with rickrack. It can be very Scandi, can't it? Yeah. Oh, what's that? Angela went to Harrogate Knitting and Stitching Show at the weekend. Oh, wonderful, Angela. What did you buy? You could not have gone and not bought anything. So what did you buy? I need a list. Oh dear. Oh. I thought about going actually, but I went to Ali Pally with Adrienne and Abigail, and that was just lovely. So I kind of got spoiled that day, really. Yes, but yeah, Harrogate for me is quite easy on the train. Well, I'd go to Peterborough, but all that's very easy. Yeah, it certainly is. Oh, let's see what Nicholas says. Oh, hold on. Jackie says, rickrack is a kind of zigzag tape you can use for embellishment. Good. Nick says, rickrack is a flat, wavy, ribbon type embellishment you sew onto things. Jackie Thomas says, rickrack is like waves. See, now I hope you got a visual on that now, Marissa. Because that's three very good descriptions. Right, so there we go. I can see a little bit of the tape, can you? But I'm not really worried about that, are you? I'm not. Okay, so the next stage, we could top stitch this, but I'm not going to because of the rickrack, I think. But you could, if you've got time, and you could push the seam over a bit so it covers the edge, or you could make it more prominent, but I'd probably be inclined to fold it, press it, and then top stitch it so you're covering the edge of the rickrack. Got rickrack on the brain now. It's hard to describe when you can't see my hands moving, I know. It's like that bit. Anyway, so yeah, I think I'd be inclined to do that. Press it like this, top stitch it as best you can. I would do it with your zipper foot still. I'm trying to think what else you could do that's better. That I think the zipper foot is best. And if you wanted to, move your needle over to the left more so you can get closer to the edge of your fabric. But I think that's what I would do actually. I would, if I have more time. But you know, I spend more time faffing than I do sewing half the time. Right, oh, Jackie says, done 2 Christmas fairs over the weekend and 2 next weekend. Lovely. Oh, here we go, Angela. Here we go. Of course, couldn't not buy fabric, some leather, Stuart Hillard book, 100 quilts and Luna lapping kit. Oh, and some machine embroidery needles. Jackie says it took me 3 attempts to say it. As predicted, kept changing rickrack. Yeah, I bet. Right, so what we're going to do, I'm going to give this a little bit of an iron now because I ironed it earlier just so you could see that lovely bottom, and it could probably do with a little bit of a press, so I'll just switch my iron on and give it a little bit of a press. In the meantime, just wait for my iron to heat up. I can say hello. So that was a good haul, Angela, and we do like a bit of a haul. We've had so many Christmas fairs around here over the last few weeks, and I keep thinking, oh, you know, I'll go, and I haven't sort of gone. And now all I'm doing, I'm just going to trim away some of the pom-poms that are right near close to the edge of the seam. Yeah, if they're not too close, then I'm not going to snip them, but you know, it'd be daft to stitch it and then the pom-poms get in the way of my seam, because we'll put our regular foot on. Yeah, there's been loads and loads round our way. I expect it has round your way as well. Yeah, really been, you know, a lot. Right, I'm just going to open this up. And it is nice to go to these things and actually, you know, spend your money locally and all of that. Yeah, it's good to do that. Right, I'm making a very good job of this, really. I'm just going to fold that seam the other way. You can see in a minute I'm just doing a bit of ironing. It's the only time I do ironing. So I tell you what, I'll just put you on the overhead a sec, because the one thing I want to show you is just try and make sure, it doesn't matter, but try and make sure that these side seams are sitting on top of each other. And you could stagger it, I suppose, but let's just keep it like that and put a clip in and do our very best to line those seams up. But if they don't line up, then we won't worry too much, will we? But it's nice to get them lined up. I'm just wanting to see if that's the right way for me. Let's have a look. I suppose so. Might want to put it that way. Would I put it that way? I don't want to nest them. I don't want to sit them on top of each other. It naturally wants to go there, so I'm going to keep it like that. Sometimes these things tell you, don't they? And I'm just going to give that a light press, because in a minute we're going to press it a different way. Right, so that's our piece now folded in half with our pom-pom in the middle, nice tucked cosy, and we'll just put a clip in here, that's it, and we'll put a clip in here. And then what we're going to do at the bottom, this is probably the most important thing, is that we're going to fold this over by about 1 inch. When I say about, measure it if you want to, but I'm just going to fold it, and then I'm sure that's about 1 inch, but measure it if you want to. There we go, that's lovely. And if you want, again, you could put a clip in so it holds it. Not essential, but it just holds it all there instead of it flapping open. And what we're going to do is we're going to stitch all the way up to the top. Let me turn it sideways so you can see. from the bottom right up to the top. Make sure you do a nice back stitch there, and we're going to fold, we're going to stitch over that fold, okay, so that all that's going to be stitched together as one seam. So that's our next task. So let's get you on the side camera. I don't really need to tell you that I'm on the side camera, do I? I could just sort of do it. And get the regular foot, which is over here somewhere. It was. Oh, there. And let's attach it. Let's get the thread out of the way. Can we see okay? Yeah, I think we can. And then I'm going to stitch from top to bottom. You could go from bottom to top if you want. I'm going from top to bottom in this instance. Okay, let's get the foot control. Regular stitch length of 2.4, whatever your machine defaults it to. 1/4 inch seam allowance or thereabouts. This is such a nice easy make that it's not hugely essential if you don't stick to the exact seam allowance, but you know, you could upscale this pattern. You could make these bigger or smaller, but once you've got the principles of making it, just do a little back stitch there, you can you know, have a little bit of fun making different sizes. So let's just flip that over. We'll go from the top again and right down to the bottom. Little back stitch always helps. Just try and get those lined up nicely. All the way down. Try and keep your seams together. Listen, if it wriggles, I really shouldn't worry about it. Because if this is a gift bag, well, firstly, you'd want the people that you're gifting it to with a little gift in, perhaps to use it for another gift to somebody else. That would be amazing, wouldn't it? But I shouldn't worry about it too much. So apart from snipping off threads, that's what it looks like. Okay, so there's your fold at the bottom, your seams going across. We'll just snip that one off and that one off, and we're going to turn it through. I always have my outer right side out when I put the lining in. Oh, that fabric is glorious. I might put a little something in here for my sister. We'll see. See how good she is. And then, and then at the bottom, where you've had that fold, it makes it into a nice pleated bottom. Do you see? I need to poke this out a bit better, but that's the result you get. You get a kind of nice pleated bottom, and then you've got the pom-poms, which are really a really nice effect. So we'll just push that out. There we are. Just pull the seam out. That does as well. Hold on, let's do it. So just pull that seam out. That gives you that boxy bottom. We can give that a little iron. Let me just do that. So get rid of all the thread. So just pull that out and it will find its own way. Do you see how it folds over on itself? It's quite nice. And then we'll give it a press. There we go. I mean, you don't have to press it. You could leave it, you know, sort of puffy. See what I mean? There we go. So that's how the bottom looks, you see. That looks quite nice, doesn't it? It's very professional. Okay, so now we've got to think about our lining. And with, I've got an itchy nose now. And with our lining, let's get that out of the way. We've got one long piece, all the measurements are in the pattern. Folders at the bottom, and we're going to do exactly what we did before. Now, you don't have to do this. You could put a lining in that doesn't have a fold, but if you've got a fold in one, you kind of want to fold in the other, but you don't have to, okay, because the lining is so separate from the outer that you could just, what you could do is where the fold is of your lining, measure up to the top of your bag and just trim that away. It's just a variation. You kind of, as you go through life, you find out these things that are, you know, there for you to have a little play with. You think, oh, actually, I could have done it this way, I could have done it that way. So just fold the base over. And once you've done that, just give that a little quick iron. I mean, it's the wrong way for our lining, I think, if I think about it. But it just keeps everything in place while you're stitching, and I'll put a clip there just to hold. So all we're going to do with this, we're going to stitch all the way up one side, and on the other side we're going to stitch to about there, stop, back stitch, leave a gap, start with the back stitch and finish with the back stitch. Okay, so we're gonna leave a gap so we can turn it through. Right, so let's do that. Let's do that immediately. Oh, Jeanette says she's getting her fabrics ready for floating glass. Well, floating glass is the big quilt you can see behind me, and that's on Friday, Saturday and Sunday this week. I've been writing the pattern up today because this workshop, everybody's going to have a pattern. The pattern will go in the shop, and the pattern will be almost the same price as the workshop. So and the workshop you get the videos across, and it's really, I'm really going to enjoy making it. Yeah, I've got all my Christmas fabrics. Have you seen them? Shall I show you? They're just in front of me because I've been chopping into stuff today. Look. Oh, sorry about that one. I think I might have snipped away in that one. But these are my fabrics. Okay, and then the one that I've just screwed up, let's get that folded nicely. I'll put that on the top. So that's the one on the top. So that's my fabrics. I've in the one that behind me, the green one, it's 7 tones of the same colour, 7 tones of green. And I did suggest to everybody on the workshop they could use a charm pack, or 2 charm packs they'd need. So you get, is it 2 of every one? And that's quite a nice thing to do. But I saw this fabric at the Cozy Cabin and I thought it would make a glorious Christmas version. So I think, I don't know if I'm going to do like diagonals of cream, diagonals of red and maybe the green. I'm not sure. I've kind of thought about it, but I haven't quite decided. But anyway, I'm going to use all of those fabrics, all of them. Right, okay, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to having a Christmas quilt. I have got a Christmas quilt that I have out every year, but it's well, no, actually, is it a quilt? It's more like a table runner, really. But it's a bit old now, and it's not suitable. It's probably the best way to describe it. Oh dear. So I really want a Christmas quilt. So I'm being very self-indulgent. Very self-indulgent. Okay. It's 1:45, so I've got to hurry. Right, so there's my lining. I've left my turning gap there. And so all I'm going to do, well actually I'm going to keep it as it is, because I've got the right side of my outer here and I've got my hand on the right side. So if you see what I mean, we're putting right sides together now, okay? And that's just going to slide in there, just as we would if we were making another sort of big bag or pouchy type of thing. Match up your side seams. You can nest these if you want. I've used just a white Egyptian cotton for the inside of my lovely little bag. So again, we'll nest the seams just because we can. And I tell you what else is a good idea. Before you do all that and you've got this opening here, it's a good idea to open up that seam where the turning gap is and just iron that 1/4 inch flat. Can you see that? Because when you come to stitch that together, because I will stitch the turning gap, you've got a lovely folded edge to stitch. It makes it ever so much easier. Okay, so we've got our 2 bags put together now, our lining on the outside, our gorgeous fabric on the inside, both right sides together. So we're just going to stitch all the way around the top, okay? So if you can make your machine into a free arm, which I can, let me just switch you over. Then do so, because that makes it a wee bit easier sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't. Depends on what you're up to. Let's move all the pokey things out of the way in case I stab myself. So yeah, so make it free arm if you can. Start anywhere you like, put it over your free arm. 1/4 inch is fine, seam allowance. I wouldn't bother with a back stitch. And just whiz all the way around. And try and keep those fabrics together. You can see I'm manipulating the fabric so it stays together. You can obviously put more pins or clips in. Just take that one out. And, ooh, have I nested? Yes. Not sure that's very straight. And when you come back, I think my lining's slightly bigger than my bag. I'll just put a little pleat in there. When you come back to where you started, just go over your stitching. You don't need to do a back stitch. Oh, thank you very much, Jackie. That's very kind. Must book yourself on the quilt. Do you know, it's really like, and actually, the cutting instructions are mind-blowing. I nearly threw it in the bin this afternoon because the cutting instructions are you need to read it, but the actual construction of the quilt is ever so easy. It really is. I'm serious. It looks amazing, the quilt, even though I say so myself, but actually it's really easy to put together. Okay, so we've got the oh, so I made a little pleat there. Let's look at that side. So we've stitched the two together, and so now we're going to turn it through. And because none of this is stabilised, there's no need, it's a gift bag. Don't waste your stabiliser on a gift bag. So just turn it through, and I wouldn't even bother pulling this out because you're going to push it back in a minute, but you could get the part where your turning gap is. And here's Millie. You know she loves barking this time of night. Oh, she's been a right pain recently. So we're going to stitch the turning gap. Yes, I will. And then I'm going to stitch along the top here. Now, I'm going to do a top stitch right on the seam there, but I'm going to measure down. I'm going to guess it about 3/4 of an inch, let's say. I think in the pattern it says an inch. I can't see it right at the moment. Just a sec, I'll tell you what the pattern says. Hold on, see if I can get this piece of paper. Oh, that's it. Yeah, it says an inch down, but it doesn't really need an inch unless you're using sorry about my dreadful stitching. Really an inch is generous. Okay, so right, so we're going to stitch that, we're going to top stitch, and then we're going to do another row of stitching, which is our channel for our ribbon. Okay, so it doesn't have to be as wide as an inch, it could be 1/2 inch if you want. Right, so now I've done that, and now I want to right, side camera. Okay, so let's just stitch the turning gap closed. I think that's why I put the bed of the machine back on, because I was going to do that. I never do a back stitch, I always just do a straight stitch all the way along. There's no pressure on this seam whatsoever. So I would start 1/4 of an inch from where the opening is and finish 1/4 of an inch the other end, or so it's secure. You could hand stitch this, you could glue it, just make a nice neat job of it. You know what, yes, do you know you're going to get a whole pattern. That's what I'm writing. You're going to get a whole proper pattern. Yeah, what you normally see from me as a pattern. Yeah, so but you won't get it until probably Friday. Friday is soon enough. The only thing is I do like to do things last minute with workshops, because I don't like anybody to go get ahead, because what happens is, and has happened in the past, is that I've given everybody the instructions too early, and some people have made it, and it's like, and then they post pictures in the group, and you think, hold on, hold on, we do this together. We always do the workshops together. and invariably I run over time because I've kind of prepped, but I haven't prepped so much that you don't know what to do. So I never give the instructions out until really the last minute, which sounds kind of mean. I just want us all to do it together. I want us all to be at the same pace as each other. I think that's fair, don't you? So have a little think about going over these side seams, because my machine just struggled there, and I've got this dookie. There shouldn't be any problems with it at all, but there we are. That's how things are. But yes, so do I, Jeanette. I love it. I love it. Even though, like yesterday, honestly, I couldn't make it up how many things that went wrong. It's good fun. I went downstairs, flopped on the sofa. I said, well, that was an experience. Right, look, I've stitched the top. Okay, I've stitched that top, and now I'm going to go down about 3/4 of an inch and do a second channel, second channel or a channel. I'm going to start at a side seam. I'm going to use my foot as a kind of guide as to where. Do you see? Let me turn it right round. So my foot is sitting about, well, 3/8 of an inch, yeah, away from the top of the bag, and then I'm going to do a second channel. Do a back stitch, just one or two, just to make sure. And as you go round, just keep an eye on your foot and the edge of your bag to make sure it's equal. Or you could get a heat erasable pen and draw a line. I mean, that's the best option. And then you know it's accurate. Go for an inch if you want to. If you're going to use some really fancy schmancy organza ribbon, which would look amazing, then you perhaps want a bigger channel to go with the bigger ribbon. But you don't want it too thin, so I think 3/4 of an inch is perfect. Jackie says it makes perfect sense, and I think you mean about the pattern, Jackie, don't you? Yeah, lots of ends on this bag tonight. Okay, so look, we've kind of finished it, but we need to put the. I've got tape rather than ribbon. I found it. It's actually tape that our Rosella gave me. Rosella gave to me years ago now. So in there, of course, our lining has also got this boxy shape, and like I say, it doesn't necessarily need it. Right, so in the pattern, you've only got one. Let's make sure I get the right side. Doesn't really matter, but you've got one place to put the ribbon in. It hasn't got double-sided, so all you need to do is just pop your seam ripper in there, and just take those few stitches out. If you're worried about a raw edge, you could do a little running stitch there just to hold it, but you want to make sure you've got an open, a gap, right? A gap to put your ribbon through. Right, so I've got this lovely tape. Look, it's really nice, isn't it? It's a cotton tape. So I would just drape it around. I could give you an exact measurement if you want. Probably says it in the pattern. I'm going to trim the ends and then get an implement of torture. The one I love to use is this one here, but any of these would do. In fact, this is my new one I haven't opened. All right, oh, that's good. I don't know if any of you remember, but I lost my set of these, and so I bought another set, and then I found my original set. It's always the way, isn't it? So you just open that up, and it's got a spring action, and then I like to just double it up a bit so it's got a bit of grippage, and then I do struggle a little bit sometimes, so I grab it, you have to squeeze it to grab, and then you just push the ring down until it's as tight as it can be, and then it's grabbed your ribbon or whatever it is, and then You're just going to push it through. Now I'm going to go along the way that the seam is facing. I'm going to go along, but then I'm going to twist back on myself and I'm going to go the other way. So, oh, did you, Kath? Oh, isn't it ridiculous? Oh dear. Oh, there it's got stuck already. Let's just give it a little shove. The hole is big enough. I think it's just been awkward. Come along. Don't mess me about. It always does mess me about when I'm doing a live with this. Any other time, it goes straight in. No bother. Right, so let's do it from that way. That's it. Follow it around. If you're very careful, it won't come loose. Obviously you've got to be respectful of what you're doing. And then you come to the other seam, and so that's when you've got to wriggle it around to try and get it past that seam, which it's done. Just be careful. Give it, you know, be respectful of what you're doing. Pull it. Just be gentle. I mean, it should keep hold of it beautifully, but you know, we know that on live videos it all goes in the wrong way. Or you could just use a safety pin, and I can guarantee 100% success rate. So we come back to where we started, and again we just got to give it a wriggle to get it past that seam. Let's see if we can do that. Or we could just revert to the safety pin method, which is foolproof. This is where a bigger channel is obviously your friend, isn't it? Obviously. So, hold on, let's just give it a little, pull that around. That's it. And if all else fails, here's a gift bag, so you could snip it, but I don't really want you to do that. I want you to struggle like me. Oh dear, bless. I'm not sure that's going to go through. No, it's not going to go through, guys. I'm going to snip it, which is not what we want to do. So just be careful of what you're doing. And I've still got the fabric there, look. It doesn't want to. That's the seam. I'm actually pushing the fabric of the seam out. Hold on. Oh, there it is. But just play with that. As soon as you've got it out, let it go. Let it go. That's it. There we go. Wonderful. Wonderful. And then we can just tie it. A nice little bow. Where we folded it, you might want to give it a little iron. Snip the end so it's nice and neat. And then you have the most amazing little bag. And that's our Duncan. I think it's splendid. And that fabric is just absolutely to die for. If you can see how sparkly it is, I don't know if you can. It is super sparkly. Gorgeous. And there we are. Well, that is an hour done. How amazing is that? So that's a lovely little bag, which I shall probably put a little gift in for my sister, and then ask her for the bag back, because she has a habit of throwing stuff away. So I might ask her for it back. But it looks pretty, doesn't it? And it's an easy make. You could make one of these in an hour, which we've done. All I did was the cutting out before. And because of the way it's been folded and the lining is the same, it feels a little bit more structured than you think. But you can see, look, if that was just single fabric, that would just flop. But it's holding its own. And the seams are matched up perfectly. See? Right, I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if you did. Also, I meant to say, don't forget, On Saturday at 6 o'clock, I am doing the spin the wheel for the Children in Need heap now, because we've got the quilt, which is over there. We've got the quilt, obviously, that our Nicola made, and then we've got, I think, 10 items to also give away as well on the spin the wheel. So if you donate still to my fundraising efforts for each, we're well over target now, but that doesn't mean to say that we can stop. So if you donate and you got your name is in the barrel again, if you like. John has got to upgrade the Excel spreadsheet to put the latest names on there, and then on Saturday at 6 o'clock we're going to do spin the wheel, and those prizes are going to go out next week to the lucky recipients, and whoever gets the quilt, well, you are so lucky. It's a lovely size, it's not massive, but it's perfect for a wheelchair. Obviously I think of my dad all the time. It's perfect if you're sitting on the sofa and you've got a bit of draft on your knees. It's perfect for that. It could go on a coffee table, it could go on the centre of a table. So it's a nice size that you can do a lot of things with. And then all the other things, you've seen me do lives showing you all the other things. And I know that Andy and Joe are going to donate some rulers as well. I say rulers. So fingers crossed. So that's going to be smashing as well, so that adds to our fantastic heap of gifts to give away on Saturday. If your name's not in it, you haven't got any chance to win it, have you? So donate at least a couple of pound in the next few days, and then you'll be in with a chance. Fingers crossed I'm going to win. Who says that? Might be Nicola. Let's see. Oh, Wendy, yeah. Well, hopefully. I mean, we've got lots of names in there, and we're going to spin so many times. So hopefully you'll have a chance at, if not the quilt, then some of the prizes that we've got. And well, all of them are absolutely super. Yeah, they really are. Okay, so I better go. If you are a creative friend, our lovely Kath is live in the group on Thursday. Then I start our floating glass quilt on Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday is our spin the wheel. I don't think there's anything in between. So thanks very much for watching. It's been an absolute treat as usual. I love doing my lives. I love doing a bit of stitching, and it's always lovely to have company and a little bit of chat that I can see what you've all been up to. Especially Angela spending all that money at the knitting and stitching. How lovely. Right, I shall see you all again soon. Oh, what's this? Caroline says I'll be at work, so I'll have to watch it back. I can't hide in a cupboard for that long. No, it will take half an hour, I think, to do spin the wheel. But then I'm live at 7 in the group, so in the quilting group, so I can't be too long. Good. I'll see you Friday. Kath will see you Thursday if you're a creative friend. In the meantime, stay safe, keep warm, and eat chocolate. Bye.